Hurricane Week is in full swing here at News 6, and it's great that we're getting you all geared up for the season ahead, which does in fact start per the calendar this upcoming Sunday because we've already got a little bit of something something out there to at least keep one of our eyes on as we go over the first half of June. Let's get you over to a graphic I haven't pulled up since about the Tropical Storm Sarah era of 2024. This is going to be Climate Prediction Center's Global Tropics Hazards Map. And as you can see here, the southwestern Gulf and the western extent of the Caribbean Sea just off to our southwest in Central Florida has been highlighted for an above 20% chance that something tropical in nature tries to manifest itself during the first, maybe we'll say the second to third week of June. I've been personally pinpointing between June 4th-ish to about the June 15th, maybe the June 17th timeframe being the most optimal setup when we're talking big picture weather pattern down there for something tropical to try to produce our first named storm of the hurricane season. And all of that is going to be a direct contribution to this thing, or I should say from this thing. This is called the Central American Gyre. And in layman's terms, the gyre, as the name implies, it comes from oceanography, believe it or not. It's just a current of rotating winds. It also helps to create lower pressures over Central America and the southeast corner of Mexico, as the name implies. And the reason this is important, there's two distinct factors. Number one, wherever there's low pressure, that obviously means there's instability, there's lift. Number two, the gyre in of itself, that broad area of counterclockwise spin in the low to mid levels of the atmosphere, can sometimes pull in pieces of tropical energy, whether it be a disturbance, a cluster of disorganized tropical rain showers and storms, or even a bona fide tropical wave, like we've seen through many of hurricane seasons of past. And they can tend to spit them out in all sorts of different directions. And if the conditions are favorable, which if we have the development of the gyre, 8 to 9 times out of 10, the conditions are conducive for further organization of these clusters of tropical storms, which then results in a named system. Some notable mentions include Hurricane Idalia of 2023. Last year, Major Hurricane Milton was a direct contribution of the gyre as well. It was actually a mashing of different pieces of energy. The gyre pulled in something out of the East Pacific, a tropical wave out of the Caribbean, and then left over frontal remnants in the Western Gulf. All those kind of squished together and spun, and that's how we ended up with Category 5 Hurricane Milton. Another honorable mention was back in 2018, around the same time as Milton, Hurricane Michael, a Category 5, ironically, smashed into the Florida Panhandle. Now, we're not talking a Category 5 this early in the hurricane season. Beryl, I need you to sit back down. We're not talking about you. That was last year. But of course, this does pose the potential of producing our first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. And on top of that, our computer models are also highlighting, both on their global operational models, which are basically physics and equation-driven computer models. You give it a bit of data and they run through their time frame, as well as their ensembles, individual members of a computer model suite, kind of like a focus group meeting at your workplace or in your office where you come together, talk about an idea, and you kind of come to a bit of an agreement or a democracy as to which solution you think is likely to verify or happen the most. All of our models are beginning to pinpoint that gyre forming up down there over Central America, in the Southern Caribbean, as well as into the Eastern Pacific. But regardless, this is definitely no longer a phantom signal. We saw a little bit of that during the mid to latter portions of this month. I do think this is a more bona fide piece of the hurricane season trying to get going. And I'm not saying we will for sure get Tropical Storm Andrea. That is the first name on the list. But this is definitely something we will continue to keep you updated and continue to investigate as we rock into the 1st of June and the first 2 weeks of the month, because I do think if we're going to see a tropical storm forming, the greatest chances are going to be through the time frame you see on your screen. Between the 4th and the 17th of June, conditions will be ready to rock and roll, and see if something will begin to spin and possibly head up towards the Gulf, or at least at the minimum bring our rain chances up, which is much needed after the drought conditions we faced during much of April and portions of May.